Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm doing lesson 1, enemies and projectiles. Here's what this thing is covering. Let me show you exactly what we're going to try to accomplish with this thing. So basically, when you're done with part 3, you're going to have an enemy. You're going to have a little dot on the screen that shows you where you're going to shoot. And if you shoot, see, and you see the little asterisk that shows you where you're going to shoot. And if you hit the enemy, he dies and you get a new one. Okay, and at some point, I don't know, I'm not going to wait for it, but at some point, the enemy will shoot fireballs at us. Okay, so that's, and then he respawns. So that's what we're going to do overall. So let's put that over here. Okay, that's what we're trying to do. So the first thing we're going to do is shoot via Raycasts, shooting via Raycasts. That's what we're going to do first. Okay, write this down. So what is raycasting? When you cast a ray into your 3D space. What is a ray? It's like a laser beam. Write this down. Okay, so if you look at this, this is what we're going to do. So like your camera is going to be like the laser gun, and then you're going to shoot a ray straight out of right out of your camera of your player, and we're going to try to find objects where it intersects, right? And then wherever it intersects, we're going to put an indicator there eventually showing that, hey, I just shot a bullet and it hit there. Or you can find out, hey, did I or did I not actually hit my enemy? Okay, and write this down. Mouse picking, that's when you project a ray that starts at the camera and extends forward through the center of the view. Okay, so we're shooting straight ahead right where we're looking. Okay. Okay, so it's going to be like this. So if this is our camera, if this is our screen, we're going to find the point right here, halfway up, halfway over. We're going to find a point right there, and we're going to shoot from our camera straight through that. That is how we're going to create our ray. Those are the whenever you create a ray, you have to have 2 points. That's the 2 points. Okay, so here's the deal. So if a lot of people were having trouble with the chapter 2 and their movement wasn't perfect. So if that's the case, if you're having trouble with that, here's what I want you to do. I want you to open up my website and get a good clean version of it. Okay, so basically what I'm saying is do this. Go to my website, Brian Miller. Go to game design. Go to 3D. Go here, right? And then if you click here, open this in a new tab. It's going to take you to this. So you can download chapter 2, and it's going to give you a good clean version of chapter 2. Now, if you're saying, hey, I put a lot of work into my scenery and so on and so forth, well, download this and then you can get the scripts. They're going to be a little bit different than yours probably, and they're going to work pretty well. So you might want to at least get the 2 scripts out of here and make the changes to yours so that you have a really good working project to start off with. Okay? Okay. Okay, so here's what I want you to do. Create a new C# script and name it Ray Shooter and attach it to the camera, not the player. And then type in the code that I will show you next. All right? Okay, there's the code. This is, by the way, there's a couple differences in mine. This says Ray Shooter 3.1. Yours is just going to be Ray Shooter. But other than that, it's about the same. Okay, so you're going to make this script called Ray Shooter. You're going to attach it to your main camera. The code is going to look a little something like this, except for it's going to be Ray Shooter instead of 3.1. And then let's look at it and see what that code is going to do. Let's take a peek at it and see. Okay, so we're making a box called dash camera or underscore camera, and the only thing that can go into it is a camera. So this is our regular instance variable declarations. If you look at this, we're going to initialize this thing in the void start. Why are we doing it there? Answer that question in your notes. Why are we doing it there? We'll talk about that in class. Why is this code put in update? So the code that's here in update, why is it there? Answer that question. The rest of the code is only done if what? So the question's the same. When is this condition true? So we have vector 3 point. So we have a box called point. The only thing that can go into it is a vector 3. We know that a vector 3 holds 3 different numbers that probably going to correspond with the XYZ locations. Now if you look at this, we're taking the camera width, okay, how wide is the camera, divided by 2, so it's going to go in the middle of the screen this way, and then we're going to go to the height, divided by 2 is going to go here. So if we go back, we're doing exactly this. Come on. we're doing this, taking this divided by 2 and this divided by 2. We're finding that middle point of the screen there. Okay. Okay. What is the name of our vector 3? We know that name is point. What is a vector 3? It's a variable that holds 3 numbers. And we know that the middle of the screen is half its width and half its height. Okay, now check this out. Check this out. It says ray equals camera dot screen point dot to ray point. So we're saying, hey, I want a box called lowercase ray. The only thing that can go into it is a ray, right? So we're going to do this ray, this invisible laser beam. And what are we sticking in that ray? Well, we're going to make a screen point to ray. So we're going to make a new ray that's going to be what? Camera dot point, right? So we're going to go from the camera to that point halfway in the screen. So we've got our 2 points to build our ray. Answer that question. Okay, so now here we have this. So now we're saying, hey, let's send out this ray. So raycast hit, right? What is the name of our raycast? So we have this thing called raycast. We're naming it hit. And then we're going to say if physics.raycast ray hit. So it's like, okay, this is where we're going to shoot the ray, and then we're finding out, hey, the place that it hits is called hit, right? And then finally, we're actually going to do all this. We're doing all this stuff. Now we're finally going to do something. Now what is this going to do? So here's our hit.point. So that's going to be the XYZ location of whatever our ray is going to hit. But what is this going to do? All right, let's find out. Okay, attach that script to the camera, not the player. Test it out and see what it does. What does it do? Well, it's going to do a little bit something like this. Let's check it out. So basically, when I run it, and if I click on something, all that happens is you see down here, these numbers changes. So we're getting an X, Y, Z location of whatever it is getting hit. It's showing, oh, the thing that got hit is at this X, Y, and Z location. Well, that's a start. So we're getting some points. That's not exactly what we want to do overall, but it's a starting point. Okay. So for now, the script gives us a console message that shows the 3D coordinates of where the ray intersected the object using the X, Y, and Z coordinates we discussed in lesson 2. We have a couple problems. It's difficult to aim. It's hard to tell what the ray actually hits. We get the X, Y, and Z coordinates, but we don't get any sort of graphic indicator of what got hit, like a bullet hole or something. And it's difficult. Apparently, it's doubly difficult to aim. All right, we're going to go on to 3.2 in the next episode.